Greetings. Today, continuation on AI topic, how to connect to it, how to ask it for different kinds of responses, and other interesting stuff that we can do it. Let's jump into it. Okay, so first thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to connect show you how to connect using API keys from the work. I would just ask chat, can I connect you? And yes, it can. Let's skip rest sharp for now. Sample code, it's basically the same that we were doing. One difference is that model is added. I'll add it. And let's get back to API keys. How to get an API key. Here we can see that API key is set as a bar authorization. So that's the second piece that needs to be changed. And getting OpenAI keys, clicking here, and just creating a new secret key. And for myself, I'll create my test key. I've applied small changes. So here in history, basically change authorization to bearer token and set a model to GPT4 mini. It's good, slightly cheaper than just GPT4. And let's just verify that it works. And I have a message with, let's see some additional text, whatever. And I'm able to parse it. Okay. Now let's play with the response part. I would like to do the following. First of all, I would like to, with this given response, to map it back to the original answers and to update the answers. It's simple C# code. Let's quickly do that. Let's start from writing a quick assertion test. So we would set answers where row ID. First answer, just row ID 1, row ID should. And just ensure that that's the answers that we are checking, and then the answer to, let's say, question 4, Q4 should be less than, let's say, 5, because for Q4 we heard that it's an issue, 9 is too high, so it should suggest something lower. Yeah, it is. It may not always suggest 3 or 2, so we don't want to check for a precise value, but less than 5 seems reasonable. And let's do the same for the second and the first question. We suggested for Q2, 2. Okay. This is row ID 2, and question 2 should be less than 5, less than ideal. And Q3 actually, so 2 instead of 9. And the last one will be question. This will be answer 5. So just for answer Q5, it's 5 instead of 1. Now we have this fixed. That's what we want to achieve after modifying the responses. Now let's work on the responses. Well, so for this, I would use it. What do I want to do? I want to go through responses, through all of them. exit response, and for each response I have row ID. I would like to find my answer by this row ID, and the way I like to do it is to map all the answers to in a dictionary, so that then I can have very quick search for an answer. So let's do that. Answer map. And we can do it like this. Answers, dictionary, key is row ID. This automatically will put row ID as a key, and value will be the actual answer, the answer object. Now here I can get the answer from that map by the row ID. And that's how we do it. And now I would like to modify things. And modifications are stored in suggested scores. Suggested score is string which represents the answer name and the change. Let's iterate through that as well. Basically, for each response, for each suggested score, suggestion. I would now like to find the find question in answer by this suggestion string, which represents like Q1, Q4, etc. And to do this code, we actually would need a reflection. Yeah. That's what I googled, how to set property value using the names, the string names. Reflection is a feature in C#, where we take the object and we can get all the information about, meta information about it, like what properties does it. Searching for stuff. In my case, object is answer, and property name is suggestion key. This. So this gives property information. Then we can set value. So again, I will set value for this property information, giving it object answer. Actual value is stored in my suggestion value. If such property is not found, we don't have to do anything. We will only continue if the property is found. Okay, let's run the code, see what happens. Put a breakpoint here. Let's go. Parse message. Okay, parse response. Let's get into the loop. Indeed, we were able to find the answer. Suggested scores has nothing. There's nothing. Why does it happen? It happens because it didn't follow exactly my output. As I asked for output like this. And if we check message, we can see that output is slightly simpler. And then my parser fails. This parser fails, it cannot handle this slightly different output. So there are ways to handle it. First of all, what I would want to try, let's switch to bigger model, to GPT4. Going back here, model. Thinking that maybe I should think. Yeah, should make it configurable. Model, yeah, and mini, but also can have cleaning up like this, and here it will be using model from good building. Let's run again. I have run it with 4, model just 4. Now if we check the message, yeah, now it gets exactly as I wanted, no other rows. Let's continue with model 4 and then let's see what we can do, because model 4 is more expensive actually than this 4 mini. I would like to use less expensive. Anyway, let's check what our code does. Suggested score, iteration, suggestion. Suggestion is Q4, property info is no, wasn't found. Okay, so this code doesn't work. What's happening? The issue is copying code from the internet. It's not a static one. I'm trying to find it on the instance. Okay, let's run again. Property info, and now I can set a value. Suggestion value, not as a value. I should use suggestion value suggested, because this will throw an exception, I believe. Yeah, it's throw an exception because it's different type. And going back to test, suggestion value. Let's try now. Seems it's working. Okay. And if we run a test till the end, all right, answers. Wow, so for the first one, it worked. For the second one, it didn't. Let's check again the answers. Maybe I rushed too much with too many tests. Let's put a breakpoint here, running again. Let's check what parse response looks like. Message. Message, and make a screenshot of it even. And for Q2. Q2, 2 and Q3, 1. Okay. No, this time this worked. Okay, so as you can see, it wasn't always super stable. Like one time it found that it thought that QC should be less than 5, second time, no. Now I'll comment this out. But yeah, as you can see, now we can work with the response, and there are easier ways to do it. Should be easier. Let me do one last open API caller. I want to move GPT model as a constant here. Need some constants. Will be GPT4 mini and GPT4. And moving this GPT4. Moved 2 parts. Now I can remove this. And as a quick one, you can do like this GPT. Quick run again, just to see how it behaves. Nice. Okay, everything is working. So as you saw, we managed to make it work with GPT-4 model, but not with Mini. It doesn't provide exactly the response that I wanted, but we can modify it. Actually, taking this kind of response is easier for a human to read, of course, but since we are doing the machine integration, we could just ask it for the response in a different format, like JSON. So let's do it in a next video, JSON response, parsing it, and maybe using the cheaper model. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.